Wow, what a difference a couple of weeks makes. It's fair to say only 2 weeks ago we were working in some of the biggest conferences we'd had internationally. We're working on some of the work that I'm most proud of professionally, and all of a sudden the corporate events market has shut down. It's a pretty difficult time for me, and I know that there's a whole bunch of people out there that are just the same as me, if not worse. So I wanted to share what I'm going to be doing to try and get through this time, and hopefully give you a few tips, and hopefully you can find something useful out of it. First of all, I wanted to kind of just share perspective. I think that this virus has actually changed the world already. It's just that we haven't quite caught up with that yet. I think it's fair to say that we're all reassessing our priorities, that people worldwide are reconnecting with people that they love, and probably reassessing how important the basic necessities are, food, water, shelter, security. That stuff's much more in the forefront of our minds at the moment, and I think that can only be a good thing. I think you can already see the world changing in terms of the way that we assess global supply chains and things like that. But I think as we move forward, there's potential for much more profound changes even. So watch this space, and I'm really looking forward to being on the ride. It's fair to say that the ride is going to be a bumpy one though. And I've got no idea what the next 6 months holds, but I know it's going to be trying for our business. The three things that I'm going to keep in touch are things that I teach in my program. So first of all, the number one thing I'm going to do is really reconnect with a sense of purpose. What do I find a sense of meaning from? What is it that I want to be remembered by, and what is it that I really hold dear to my heart? It's fair to say that that's going to be so important. It's like the ballast in a ship. It doesn't stop you going through a storm. It doesn't stop the waves. It doesn't stop you feeling the waves. But it's fair to say it gets your boat upright again when you encounter problems. Second, I want to really reconnect with my colleagues. I'm going to take a bit of extra time to collaborate. I think it's fair to say in our workshops, if you've learnt nothing else, you will have seen the value of collaborating, and I think you will also remember how sometimes when we're at our best, we're also at our worst. Well, we've got all the ingredients right here today of people working in social isolation, of people having to work under intense pressure, the intensest of pressures, but all of that stuff is going to make us think that we've got the answers. It's going to make us feel, when we're super motivated and pumped about our work, it's going to make us feel like we should work in isolation. But of course, if our programs have taught us nothing, it's that a solution made in a group of people that's genuinely sitting down and working together productively will always beat multiple decisions by individuals. So please take the time to collaborate, and in that light, part of the reason for this video is to kind of reach out to you and say, you know what, I've got no idea how Helping Hands and Waterworks is going to survive this. We're really scared, but it's fair to say I'm putting it out to the world. There's thousands of people that love our projects and love us, and we need your help right now. So reach out to us if you have an idea, a suggestion. We're open to anything. Third, I want us to take a sense of perspective. I know that's hard because it feels to many of us like, maybe the business is on the precipice of failing, like our lives are going to change and maybe not for the better. It's tough stuff to get perspective in this environment. But if working with our amazing Ugandan team has taught us nothing, it's that they have a different perspective on a whole range of things, but especially death. I feel like over in the developing world, people feel like death is a part of life. They feel like it's a normal thing. And as terrible as it is, as much as none of us like to lose loved ones, it's fair to say that life goes on a little bit more. Well, so far, none of us have really lost many loved ones. There's 5 or 6 people in Australia that have lost loved ones through the virus. None of us are confronted with that right now. Right now, we're all confronted with our own sense of mortality. We're all being reminded that we're not superhuman. I think that that's scary. I think it's scary to all of us. But I think if we put it in perspective, and we realise that this virus may have been sent in some ways to challenge us, to push the reset button, to recalibrate what our priorities are in life, and if it does that for just a few people, then it will have done all that we need it to do. I personally am about to go off and play with my 3-year-old son, and maybe we're going to even weed the garden and spend a bit of time outside. What are you going to do with this time? I've got to say, it's a pretty horrendously challenging and scary time. But for those leaders out there, this is a once in 100-year opportunity. Please don't let it sail by. Thanks.